Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first topic in Unit 7. And as we always do, we start off with contextualization. So essentially, our essential question is why do historians define 1900 to 2010 as a period in world history? Our essential question, the question that you need to be answering in detail and will help you with the context for any essays you write in this unit, is why do historians define 1900 to 2010 as a period in world history? So, the way this lesson is going to work is I'm going to introduce this topic, talking again about periodization. Then you're going to take some time to define the most important terms that are going to apply in this time period. Then I will present my argument that addresses this question, and you will take notes. And the end game is that you have a 7.0 assessment at the end of this lesson. So, what is this lesson about? Just like Unit 5, when we started that one, this lesson is about periodization. When you look at your life is divided not only into time periods according to age, but also by abilities, problems, and things you can do. So, as you can see this timeline, you have a baby who's different from a teenager, who's different from an adult, and then me as an old person. So, periodization basically involves the ability to describe, analyze, and evaluate the different ways that historians divide history into discrete and definable periods. So, this postmodern age that we're getting into essentially is going to be defined by certain characteristics. Now, we're not going to get into the debate of the different and sometimes competing theories of periodization. But what we are going to do is we're going to focus on specific turning points and defining characteristics that differentiate this from other time periods that we've talked about. So, when we work with periodization in terms of this question, why do historians define 1900 to 2010 as a period in world history? The very first thing we do is we identify the overall idea that defines the postmodern age. Secondly, we're going to identify some key dates, and these dates you will need to know. And then finally, we need to identify and describe the characteristics that are going to define the period. So, your first task is to basically use your technology and look up and define each term. I will expect you to write these on your own sheet of paper and then use them when you take notes from the next video. Make sure you think about how this term applies to history. Then I want you to think about and try to guess how this would be important to the time period. So it should look something like this. Now, when you talk about the five main terms of the postmodern age, we begin with transnational, definitely world wars and genocides, but also extremes. And that's probably the most broadest one that you're going to work with. And finally, we end with globalization. So go ahead, get out your paper, get your technology, and look up and define these five words.